Hello everyone. This tutorial I'm going to explain you how to create dojo tree. So in order to create a dojo tree, we need to have a data that represent a dojo tree, and each dojo tree will have a specific model. So in dojo we have three specific models for creating a dojo tree model. One is object store object store model, and other one is object store model, and other one is tree store model, and other one is forest store model. So for this demo I'm going to use object store model to create a tree structure, and finally we need to embed the created model into the tree to get exact information. And the data should be created in such a way that each data is a JSON object. So each object will be rendered into an array of JSON. So the JSON data will be given to the object store model, and that object store model will is finally represents a tree. So let's do this by using a programming model. So in order to do anything with dojo, we have to include the dojo function, dojo script here. So before loading a dojo script, we need to define initial configuration for dojo. So the way we are going to define is by using initial dojo config object. So this is an object, so I want to load all my digits automatically, and that should pass automatically for me whenever this page is loaded. So I want to set an attribute called pass on load to true, so that all widgets are loaded automatically. And I want to debug also, because if there are any errors, so it will be very easy to debug. So this is the initial configuration that I want to give. And the second thing is actually load dojo script, and the source is I don't want to use my local dojo file. So instead of, I want to use a CDN to load my dojo. So this is a link I have already copied from the Google. You can also open Google and copy that one. Yeah, this is where our dojo is also already loaded. And I want to create an element in my page where I want to show my widget. So this is a place I want to show my widget. So I'm giving an ID called tree node. So this is a place I want to this is a division where I want to place my tree node here. Simple. And let me create a dojo tree here. So instead of before doing any coding in dojo, we have to have modules. So I just want to include some modules for doing something uh, about tree. So the first thing is I want to load, sorry, the tree itself. So digit slash tree, and this tree should contain a model. So I want to include a model. So digit slash tree slash, I want to use the object store model here. So model, and each object store model will have some data. So I want to represent the data in the dojo. So I just want to use the memory store of uh, dojo to get memory, and I want to read DOM element to place my widget. So dojo slash DOM. So I just pass this all module references to my function function. So I'm going to give a tree and object store capsules, object store model, and the other one is memory, and the final one is DOM document object model. Okay, and the first thing is we need to have a data. So I want to create some data here, array of data. So I just say my JSON data equals an array of data. So this data will be a list of JSON objects. So I already told you we should have a identifier which will be an ID. So I want to give some name for it. So Shishikuma as an attribute, and I also want to have a age value for this uh, JSON object, and there is no parent attribute for it. So I'm just removing I just completing this one, and I want to add another uh, JSON object. So this ID will be a 2, and this name will be Sandeep. Let me take Sandeep, and age 25, and he will be a parent to node 1. He will be a child of node 1, I'm sorry. It's and I want to create another node, so id of 3, and his name is Duke, and age is 25 as well, and he also be a parent of id1. And I want to create another child element for Durga, so his id will be a 4, and the name will be Naidu, and age will be a 27 or 27 I guess. um, and he will be a parent of 3. Okay, so by here we created a data, we created a list of data here, and I want to create data store for this newly created data. So I just want to create data store. So variable data store equals to new memory. So I just want to pass the data here. So the data will be my JSON object, I think. My JSON data. That's it. So now create a model for this data. So variable my model equals to new, so it's capital object store model. So the model I want to show here is model. So this model will be a data store model. No, it should be a store, I'm sorry, it should be a store. So model actually takes our class, and I want to query where it should start. So it should start from uh, id, where id equals 1. So this will be a parent, it will start from there. And I will finally create tree. So I want to create a tree here. Create a new tree, or a tree, and it should have a model. I want to give a newly created model, so my model, that's it. And place inside division, right? So have to have a division element. So I'm getting a dom node equals to dom dot by it's a by, it's a b by it. I just want to give a tree node, node, and I want to place my tree dot place at dom node, and finally I'm starting my node. So d dot start, that's it. So let me check how it works once. So this is how we are going to create a structure for us. So I just want to open oops, some error, we got some error, I think. Yeah, update model is not defined. So what actually happened? So copy these and paste it over here, that's it. So it's a spell mistake actually. Okay, this tool get children is not a function. So the problem here is, so in the query we given id equals 1. Okay, that's good, it will render Shashikumar as a root node, but what about these child parents? So we have to have a child parents root node also, right? So we are going to create a function called get children function. So I'm going to pass an object, root object. It actually, basically this method will be called internally. So I want to return the current id. So a query of I just want to give parent as a current object id, object id. Let's see, wait, work on it. Wow, query is not defined. Okay, so I just want to call this dot query. That's good. So you can see Shashi and Durga, when we drag and Durga, so Naidu. Okay, this looks like very simple structure. So I want to have a folder structure and I want to just make changes to the UI design. So Digit will have an inbuilt theme for designing any UI related thing, so I just want to include a link for it. So relation equals to style sheet, and I want to have a href for this. So this is also I want to load from its CDN, so I already have a CDN link for loading this one. Oh my god, I have to copy to Control C, and I'm gonna paste it. So just load the class here wherever you want. Class equals to, so I'm just loading a class here. Wow, you can see over here Shashi, Sandeep, Dug, that's good. So, but the thing is here, if you hover on this, the entire body is occupying, right? Entire web page of body is occupying. So I don't want like this. So I just want to have specific pixels to be occupied this tree. So you can do something like this in the tree itself. So we created a tree here, right? So I just want to have apply a style, and the style is a width of 200 pixels. That's it. It's more than enough. Just refresh it. Now you can see it's only occupied 200 pixels. You can also design some more elements to the right of it, and you can do whatever you want to do. Now let's create an event when we are clicking on the tree. So the way you can create is you can also create directly by writing on click here, on click here, and you can do like that, but it's not a good way of doing programming like that. So what we do is we are going to use a dojo event module. So dojo provides an event module called on for event module. So previously we are using previously we are using a connect, but that was deprecated from now. So we are using an on event here. So let me create an event for this before loading. So on of tree, when we click on tree, so we are going to call a function. So this function will contains an item that was selected by us. So uh, I just want to read all the variables. So variable, so we have a id, right? So id equals to item dot id, and we have a name attribute, so name equals to item dot name, and we have another thing called age, right? So age equals to item dot age. Oh, sorry, age. So just alert it whether it's coming or not. So name is name, and I have an id, right? So id is id, and the third one is whatever you want, and age is age. Let's see his work on. I'm just refreshing it. So Sandeep, so when I click on Sandeep, name is Sandeep, id is 2, and so Dukkha id. So why the age value is not coming here? Item dot age. Oh, here we got an error. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, age is 25, and you can drop it here, and id is 4 and age is 26. Okay, so this is how we can use a tree in dojo. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Thanks. In next tutorial we are going to see how to create templated pictures. Thanks for watching. Bye.